I never thought I'd say this out loud. Some stories are meant to be tucked away, kept in the corners of memory where they don't have to make sense, where silence does all the heavy lifting. But this one keeps finding its voice, no matter how I try to quiet it. Before we dive in, take a second to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Now let me take you back to that afternoon, the day everything shifted. The sun was low, spilling amber light across the porch planks, warm from hours of heat. I hadn't turned on the porch light yet. I didn't need to. The fading glow of the day held enough clarity and comfort. There was a box resting just beside the steps. Plain cardboard, a taped seam, nothing remarkable about it. Except, he was already bending down to lift it. White shirt, dusty boots, a little sweat on his brow. He crouched effortlessly like he'd done it 1,000 times. Probably had. And when he looked up, that familiar half-smile was already in place. I leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed, watching him. "Since you're already down there," I said casually, trying not to overthink it, "mind bringing it in?" He paused, glanced up again. No confusion, no question, just a raised eyebrow. Beat past. Then I opened the door wider. He stepped through. No words, no comments. Just the brush of his shoulder as he passed by me. Inside, the house suddenly felt different. The air seemed thicker somehow, more awake. He set the box down beside the table, slow and careful, like it mattered. He stood there for a second, box still in hand. Not moving. Just waiting. I didn't speak. Just tilted my head toward the living room. He walked. Followed. Sunlight filtered in through the half-closed blinds, streaking the room with golden beams. Dust swirled in the light. He lowered the box near the end table and stayed crouched for a second longer than he needed to, like he was gathering something invisible. I stayed in the doorway, my hand brushing the wall. "Water?" I asked, already reaching for a glass. "Sure," he replied, his voice low, steady, like he had nowhere else to be. I felt his eyes on me as I crossed the kitchen. My sundress fluttered around my knees, bare feet padding softly against the cool floorboards. When I turned around, he had come to the counter. I handed him the glass, our fingers brushing just briefly. He drank, set it down with a soft clink. "Nice place," he said. "Thanks." I leaned back against the counter, palms flat. "You in a rush today?" He shook his head, slow and certain. "Not unless I need to be." I reached past him for another glass, my arm grazing his. He didn't shift. Neither did I. His hand was beside mine on the counter. Not touching but close. So close I could feel the warmth of him. And then, I let my pinky rest against his. Barely there. But he noticed. His pinky grazed back. I glanced up at him. He was watching me, not smiling, not frowning, just waiting. He lifted his hand and gently took mine. No hesitation. Just a slow, quiet motion. His thumb brushed the back of my hand. Then he raised it a little, toward his face, holding it there like he was deciding something. I hadn't expected that. Caught me off guard. But I didn't pull away. His other hand settled near my waist, light and steady. I touched his chest briefly, my fingers pressing against the soft cotton of his shirt. Then I let them fall again. He stepped forward just a bit. I leaned back until I felt the cool surface of the counter behind me. He didn't press in. He just stayed near. I didn't move. His head tilted slightly, watching me, reading the room the moment me. He leaned closer like he might say something, but he didn't. The silence filled everything. The room. The air between us. My chest. "Would you mind?" I said, my voice barely a whisper. "Closing the curtains?" He moved immediately. As he crossed the room, I reached up to touch the small pendant at my throat. It shifted beneath my fingers. Familiar. Coming. I watched him from the edge of the kitchen. Everything about him seemed quieter now. Intentional. He turned from the window as the last streaks of light disappeared behind the drawn curtains. I stepped forward, the necklace still tangled in my hand. But I didn't care. My fingertips found the edge of his shirt, resting gently near his collarbone. And then, kissed. Not rushed, not clumsy, just simple. Understood. His hand came to rest on my shoulder. Steady, grounding. Mine landed on his chest in return, soft and sure. We stayed like that for a while, no need for words. He leaned his forehead to mine, our breath mingling in the hush. Then a look passed between us, silent asking. He nodded. Just once. It was enough. He stepped forward, easing me onto the edge of the counter. The motion was unhurried, like we both already knew what came next. I adjusted my weight slightly, my knees brushing his sides. Close, but still not touching. His eyes met mine. I lifted a hand to his face, fingers brushing lightly along his temple, coaxing his gaze back. We kissed again, this time slower, more certain. The air didn't shift. The room didn't change, but something inside me did. Like every piece had finally found its place. My hand rested on his shoulder. His settled again near my waist. Not gripping, just being there. Telling me without a single word that he wasn't going anywhere. He pulled back a little, his gaze holding mine. I nodded again. He helped me down gently. Careful. We didn't say anything. We walked together into the living room, our steps light, almost silent. I rested my hand lightly on his arm, feeling the ease that had wrapped itself around us. We reached the couch and sat, side by side. Our eyes met again, holding all the things that had gone unsaid. The kiss lingered in the air, not insistent, not needy, just quietly present, like it had made a place for itself in the stillness. My fingers curled gently on his shoulder. He leaned in, not to kiss again, just to be closer. That nearness, the not needing more, was enough. And I felt something bloom in me. Not fireworks, not the rush of a whirlwind romance, but something quieter, deeper, something that felt like home. A soft sound escaped me, surprise maybe, or wonder. It was as if I was just realizing how much this moment meant. How deeply it had settled into me without asking for permission. His hand found mine. Easy. Like, no pressure. Just a quiet promise. The rest of the world faded out. Time didn't speed up or slow down. Just held still. And in that stillness, I tilted my head back, eyes fluttering closed. Breathing it all in. The nearness. The feeling of being seen. The quiet that finally felt right. Now tell me something. What do you think she should have done next? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading every single one. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what happens next. Thanks for being here. Until next time. Yellow heart.